Well, today I stand in front of you with an extremely heavy heart, saddened and disheartened about the events that occurred early this morning. At approximately 6:42 a.m. this morning, we had one of our deputy sheriffs come on the main channel and advise that he had caused harm to his family and gave the location of one residence, said that he had caused harm to another one of his family members, had gave directions and the address to that location, and then advised that he was going to kill himself at Plant City High School. The supervisor immediately got on air and did everything that they could to try to talk him down, calm him down, bring some calm to the situation, make sure they reassured him that this was a temporary problem. Don't do something that's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. During this time, 3 other deputies located him on the east side, not on the school property of Plant City High School, but on the outside of the high school property on the east side of the school. Came into contact with this deputy, made every attempt possible to try to convince this deputy sheriff that there was a different way, there was a different solution, not to commit suicide, and unfortunately the deputy took his life on scene in front of the 3 deputies. I don't have a lot of details that I'm able to release at this time. We have just gotten search warrants approved at both residences. We can confirm that there, at one residence, there is an adult female and a child female at one location, another adult female at another location, all 3 that have succumbed from the injuries that were afflicted. I'm not. We're in the process now of making next of kin notifications. Like I said, this is still extremely active and preliminary. We just got the search warrants approved. We have just made entry into both residences and have started the lengthy process of putting the pieces of the puzzle together and processing the crime scenes. Not sure. And like I said, it wasn't really Plant City High School. It was just on the outside. We believe he chose that location or that proximity because it was close to the residence where he had entered and committed the actions that he did. So we believe it was just a proximity thing. When he came on air, he had just left one location, and it just happened to be close.
Can you give us the age of the child and 2 females?
I can't yet. Not that we don't want to. We haven't positively ID'd. We believe we know who they are, but until we can positively ID them, I wouldn't want to put something out that's not completely accurate.
Do you have a history, does this deputy have a history of any type of similar threats, any type of erratic behavior? How long has he worked with the department?
And that's a great question. This deputy's been with the department since 1991, and there's been absolutely no indication of any type of behavioral issues, glowing recommendations. Throughout his entire training process, job evaluations, again, no indication whatsoever that would lead us to believe, that would lead a prudent and reasonable person to believe that this deputy would ever conduct himself in a manner that he did. I'm sorry? He is. He retired 2 years ago. He was one of the retired deputies that we hired back for security at one of the elementary schools, and he's done a wonderful job. Matter of fact, we had just made the determination here recently, since the job was a temporary job, to hire him back permanently. He had just expressed how ecstatic he was that Christmas came early, that he was so happy that he was hired back as a full-time deputy sheriff. He was hired back last summer as part of the legislation to make sure that we had either armed security guards or deputy sheriffs in every one of the elementary schools. We can't put that out right now. I would ask that we would keep that between us now. because we're in the process of also, you could understand how traumatic this is. We have peer support members headed to all 3 scene locations in the school as well. So I'm going to hold off putting that out for just a little bit. I'm sure all of you can understand why.
And for clarification, he's accused of killing 2 women and a child?
That's correct.
Are they relatives?
They are.
Is there a
We believe they are. Like I said, we can't say unequivocally until we are able to positively ID these individuals. And like I said, we wanted to get something out now. We obviously will do another press conference as quick as we can. When we have information, we certainly want to be forthright and transparent as possible.
Sheriff, as the person in charge, is there an honest conversation you want to have with your deputies? I mean, I know this is obviously very hurtful for you.
We have. We've already started that process. As you are well aware, we've had another deputy sheriff in September 22nd, that killed his wife and took his own life. And, certainly I'm extremely concerned, and we've been concerned because we see suicide rates that have risen. Already today, we're on seeing 2 other suicides this morning. Why is this occurring? I wish I knew. But as an agency, we're certainly being proactive. We did a video and put it out to all the employees right after the last one happened. And we actually have developed a suicide awareness and prevention program, and that starts January 1st. So every member of the Sheriff's Office, as they go through their annual in-service training, will get an intensive suicide awareness program. But I truly believe law enforcement's no different than modern day society. We have to change the culture. We have to make sure that everyone knows that it's okay to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness to say, hey, listen, I'm having a difficult time. I'm having a hard time. I need some help. So we're working diligently here at the Sheriff's Office to make sure our employees are aware of that as well.
Sheriff, I know you were talking more about the suicide piece, but what may be just as important, if not a little bit more, is the ripple effect it has when these people murder their family members or other close associates. How are you going about that within your own ranks to talk to your men and women about domestic violence?
Yeah, that's certainly part of the training and part of the culture of the office. They have to know that we have a 0 tolerance policy for any type of violence. Like I said, I'm here today. I'm saddened, but I'm also disheartened that a deputy sheriff, a Hillsborough County deputy sheriff, would ever cause harm to another individual.
Sheriff, did he kill himself on the baseball field?
He did not. It was not on school property. It was on a county right-of-way. So I know some details went out that he was at the school. Nothing happened on school property. This was off school property.
All right, everybody, last question.
The child who was killed, did that child go to the school where he was a school resource officer?
I don't believe so, but I can't confirm that. Like I said, I certainly will put that out when I know that, if that's something you're interested in, but that was it. I do think I want to put something out of note. During his radio transmission, he talked about how much he loved the Sheriff's Office as they were trying to talk to him. He did allude to the fact that he had some type of financial and health issues. We're not aware of it. We're not able to confirm that, but he did allude to that, so I certainly would like to mention that.
Can you say that one more? He alluded to health, and what was the other issue you said?
Health and financial issue. And like I say, we're not able to confirm that, and certainly nothing financially came up recently when we did his background investigation to hire him full time. So we're not exactly certain what that means, and that'll be part of the ongoing complex investigation that we'll continue conducting.